Yo, what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone XS Max versus the iPhone 11 Pro Max speed test. Now, I totally forgot to compare these two when the iPhone 11 Pro Max came out. So today I figured let's go ahead and see how much of a difference just a year later makes on the XS Max. So let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test of both these devices in 3, 2, 1. Now, keep in mind that the iPhone XS Max that you might have purchased last year does have an Apple A12 Bionic chipset with 4 gigabytes of RAM. If you did upgrade to the brand new 11 Pro Max, you did get an Apple A13 Bionic chipset with 4 gigabytes of RAM as well. So we just have a upgraded CPU here in the 11 Pro Max when it comes to its performance, and the iPhone XS Max on the same software boots up first over the 11 Pro Max. So it's a quick win for the XS Max so far. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and test out the Face ID and see how fast both phones are in 3, 2, 1. And you can see it's pretty similar. So when you go ahead and open up Face ID, the speed is going to be basically identical on that. But I will say one thing, the 11 Pro Max seems to kind of recognize you from angles that are a little bit more odd than the iPhone XS Max, which has a little bit of a hard time with stuff like that. But in terms of the actual speed, I don't see it to be that much faster than that of the XS Max on the 11 Pro Max. So when it comes to software, they are both running the latest version of iOS 13.2.3 on both devices. You can see right there, iOS 13.2.3. So this is the latest official software from Apple. I believe it just released yesterday, actually. So we are, as of the recording of this video, doing the latest version on both of them. Okay, guys, so we've arrived at the application portion of this speed test. You can see everything is closed out for 11 Pro Max, everything closed out for the XS Max. Let's go into clock, and you can see pretty similar performance there. Calculator. And pretty similar once again. Let's go into calendar. You can see pretty similar once again. Even the gestures are basically just as smooth as each other. Let's go into weather. And you know what would really make a difference if Apple puts like a 90 hertz refresh rate on here, not just the touch sensing. If they put a 120 hertz, something like that, it would really make a difference in smooth. Let's go into Snapchat. And you can see that is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Let's go into Amazon. And you can see, wow, the 11 Pro Max just a little bit ahead there. But when clicking a link, this stuff is not going to matter. You're not even going to notice. So when you see a lot of people talking about in other videos about how the camera is so much better, the battery is so much better, that's because they can't logically find a reason why you would get the 11 Pro Max just because of performance. It's just not there, even though it would seem like it's so much better because it's a new and higher number, A13 Bionic chip and CPU. Let's go into Best Buy. And you can see Best Buy pretty similar once again. So you're not going to shop any faster for Black Friday on the XS Max over the 11 Pro Max or vice versa. Let's go into Pandora. You can see Pandora is ready to listen first there on the right, but it's so close that if you're listening for a song, you're probably going to recognize it's very similar. Let's go into ESPN. And let's see which one can load up the video first here. It looks like the 11 Pro Max is in the lead and it beats the XS Max there. I have found that the LTE performance and Wi-Fi performance is a little bit better here for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but not as good as something like a Galaxy Note. Let's go into Twitter. And you can see Twitter is first here on, look like on the right, but only by a very small fraction. Let's go into Instagram and see which one can load up Instagram first. Looks like the XS Max had that feed open first. Go to my page, scrolling through, really no big difference. But what will be a big difference is the type of results you can post to your Instagram page while utilizing the triple camera setup on the 11 Pro Max. Let's go into Wikipedia here. This is a browser test. I couldn't even see it. Which one was first? They were both rocketing to the finish there. So let's head into PUBG Mobile now and see which one can open this up first here. And looks like the 11 Pro Max is ahead. You would think with its upgraded CPU and the Apple in-house GPU would maybe give it a little bit better performance. And so far, it looks to be that way for the 11 Pro Max. But the XS Max is pretty good as well, as you've seen right there. I don't think, having an 11 Pro Max is going to give you a huge advantage in performance, beating somebody in PUBG versus like if you're on this phone, I don't think it's going to give you a huge advantage beating somebody on the iPhone XS Max. Let's go into dead trigger 2 and see which one can start shooting these zombies first. And you could see that looks like the 11 Pro was first. So let's hit play. And you can see that the XS Max a little bit ahead, but I mean, really, what's the big deal here? The big deal here is obviously not the speed, as I just proved to you. There you go. I'm gonna call the 11 Pro Max slightly faster in the day-to-day. So what we're gonna do now is run through the RAM management just to see if they can hold these applications without any reloading here. And ready to go. Ready to go. Let's go to Instagram. That's ready to go. Twitter's ready to go. Let's go into ESPN. That's ready to go. Pandora. Let's go into Best Buy. That looked like a reload. And 4 gigabytes of RAM is one thing I just don't like about the iPhones in general. I would like to see like 6 on this phone. I think it would be great. Or maybe even 8 gigs of RAM. That would really set it apart from the competition, which I find has a little bit better, well, a lot better amounts of RAM, which allows you to have a lot of apps open without any reloads. Although iOS does a good job at tricking you into believing that something is held in the background and really it pauses applications, but you don't really see that on the 11 Pro Max, XS Max until you got tons of them open, but it does tend to do that sometimes. So you can see Best Buy slight reload on that one as well. Again, both of them 4 gigs of RAM, so not a big deal of difference here on the devices, but nobody's really going to notice this that much because I don't think you're opening 75 apps at once on either phone. But coming from your XS Max to the 11 Pro Max, you've seen in reloads, it's really not a big deal of differentiation between the two. So you're just probably wasting your time if you think you're going to get better RAM management on the 11 Pro Max. So what I want to do here is kind of take a look at their camera performance to see how fast they can open up these cameras and take a photo. 3, 2, 1. See the XS Max a little bit faster to open that up. I'm going to close that out and do that one more time to see if that was just a glitch. Let's go to camera. Nope, looks like the XS Max a little faster. That might be because the 11 Pro Max is loading up 3 different cameras. Let's hit the shutter. You can see pretty similar there on both. If we hold down the XS Max and then we bring this one to the right, you can see they both burst extremely fast, so not a big deal of difference there. So in camera, it's just the quality. Speed is pretty similar. The shutters are not that much different. iPhones have always had very fast shutter speed, and opening the camera, I think it's a little faster for that of the XS Max just because it's not loading up 3 different lenses. So let's go ahead. You see, once again, it's just right on par, or if not a little bit faster for the XS Max. Okay, guys, so we're gonna render both of these clips out, these videos that we took in iMovie at 4K. And what's gonna happen here is that I'm gonna let you guys know that these are both in the high efficiency format, the HEVC format for the iPhone. So let's hit save video for both iPhones, actually. You can see 4K, and we're gonna see which one can do this faster. 3, 2, 1. Both 28-second clips, and I expect the 11 Pro Max to show its power here. This is where you actually should see a performance improvement, but you got to ask yourself, am I actually editing on my phone? And if you are, this could make a real difference for you as your videos get longer, as the 11 Pro Max is just a little bit snappier in this respect, but only slightly, as you've seen right there. But as the video clip expands, I would expect the A13 to do a lot better than that of the A12. So yeah, getting the 11 Pro Max, if you're doing stuff like that, is absolutely worth it, or you're using things like LumaFusion, always having more power will add to the efficiency of your workflow. So now we're gonna run a Geekbench. You could see these ARM-based CPUs have been clocked in at 2.49 gigahertz on the iPhone XS Max and 2.66 gigahertz, so slightly more clock speed here for the 11 Pro Max. RAM though sits at 3.67 gigabytes available for XS Max, 3.65 here on the 11 Pro Max. Let's hit the CPU and let's begin the synthetic benchmark and see which one is quicker in these scores. Again, don't take these as reality, as these do tend to fluctuate between phones, and really they don't say much about the real world in performance. And so the final Geekbench scores are in, and you can see it's a win on the single for 11 Pro Max and the multi, but not by substantial margins as you might think. So you see in this video that in a boot up test, the XS Max is going to win. In a Face ID test, the 11 Pro Max is going to win on different angles, but in speed, not a big deal. The application test, 11 Pro Max. The RAM management, pretty similar. The video rendering goes to the 11 Pro Max. We had a little bit slightly faster camera speed, but almost identical. You seen where it counts, where you actually are testing true performance. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is a little bit more powerful, but I don't think anyone could actually convince somebody to buy this phone over this phone unless they're easily persuaded just by numbers. You see that A13 Bionic, it doesn't make a huge difference over an A12 Bionic. Just keep in mind, either one of these are true powerhouses in your pocket. But we still do these for fun, just to see them face off. So if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. If you're new here, subscribe for more and turn the bell notification on, as YouTube doesn't always get those notifications to you. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.